5 tabletop RPGs we can't wait to play at GenCon.
Shut up and take my money!
GenCon is a little over 2 weeks away and the character sheet schedule is filling up fast. We'll be getting a first look at many of the great RPGs coming out over the next year, with a mix of some of the biggest games and hopefully a few surprises and indie games as well. Now, to help give you an idea of what we'll be doing at GenCon, here are 5 of the tabletop RPGs that we can't wait to play at the biggest gaming event of the year. Number 1, the Stormlight Archive RPG. Honestly, this game might rival Daggerheart as the biggest release of 2025. Now, in case you've missed our mini videos about this game, the Stormlight RPG is a game set in the world of the Stormlight Archives, one of the most popular fantasy novel series currently out today, and is written by Brandon Sanderson. Now, the game uses a D20 system with a 3-action turn and a narrative dice for extra effect on high-stakes turns. The Kickstarter for the game will launch right after GenCon, and there are a ton of Sander fans who can't wait to see how this game turns out. Number 2, Cthulhu by Gaslight. Chaosium will be releasing a new edition of its popular Cthulhu by Gaslight campaign setting for Call of Cthulhu at GenCon. Now, the Investigator's Guide will basically serve as a player's handbook of sorts for the setting, with a focus on social class this time and the ability to play as a member of the lower working classes. Now, a book for keepers will be released in the not-too-distant future, but only the Investigator's Guide will be available at GenCon. Jack the Ripper mixed with Cthulhu, we can't wait. Arkham Horror, the RPG. Hey, another Lovecraftian horror game. This new RPG is made by Edge Studio, Asmodee's in-shop RPG studio. Now, you'll recall that this game uses a brand new D6 pool system where players have to commit dice to different checks from a larger pool. Now, I personally have always loved Fantasy Flight's Arkham Horror games, and I'm interested to see what this game does differently than, Call of Cthulhu, which has always led the industry in horror tabletop RPGs. Number 4, Star Trek Adventures 2nd Edition. Star Trek Adventures is getting a brand new edition with better starship mechanics, better advancement rules, and more dynamic talents. Now, I'll admit that we bounced off the original version of Star Trek Adventures pretty hard, so I'm really optimistic that this game will be a bit more engaging and able to capture the Star Trek experience a little bit more. I'm a huge fan of Star Trek, just didn't really like the original game, so I'm hoping this one will be a lot better. And number 5, Shadow Scar. Naruto is one of my favorite franchises of all time, so a multiversal game heavily inspired by the franchise definitely has to be on our radar. Now, we love the idea of a lighter dice pool system, and we can't wait to explore a multiverse that's being invaded by yokai and other creatures pulled from Japanese myth. Now, Shadow Scar is being published by R. Talsorian Games, and you can actually check out an early look at the game via our interview with Cody Pondsmith, which got posted on our channel just a couple of weeks ago. And of course, honorable mention, Dungeons & Dragons, whatever we're calling the new 2024 edition. Player's Handbook will be out shortly after GenCon, and there should be some pretty big previews for the new Player Handbook at GenCon. Not really a new edition, and we've played a lot of D&D and have heard a lot about this new Player's Handbook, but we'll see if there's any surprises that Wizards has up their sleeve for the 50th anniversary. If something happens, we'll let you know all about it. So, what games are you excited to play or try out at GenCon? What do you hope will get announced? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And hey, if you're going to be at GenCon and see me on the floor, be sure to stop and say hi.